In this video, I want to talk about how to deal with Stripe disputes and reserves. As soon as I hit $30,000 with one of my offers, Stripe did not let me celebrate too long. Boom! It hit me with a reserve right away. To tell you the truth, it hurt. It hit me with a 25% rolling reserve. But let's rewind a little bit and see what really happened that got me here. Many of my friends running agencies or offers have experienced this level at $30,000. As soon as they hit it, Stripe somehow came up with some kind of rolling reserve. That's when the algorithm probably kicks in and is looking at the risk ratio. And you know, Stripe's algorithm will start kicking in there and run safety measures to ensure that you're not running any funny business, you're not doing anything illegal, your business is not high risk. It's totally understandable, but it's good to be aware of it when you're running high ticket offers. To really understand the Stripe dispute ratio, I had to go in, dig a little bit around, and find out what it actually means. So the Stripe dispute ratio is all the disputes coming in over the total transactions, total successful transactions that you have received. Meaning, transactions, here we go. Meaning, if you had, let's say, 15 disputes over 1,000 sales, your dispute ratio is going to be 1.5%. And 1.5% dispute ratio is a lot higher than what Stripe allows you to have. Because after over 0.75%, they will consider you as high risk, and over 1% dispute ratio, you are actually high risk and you're gonna be hit with a rolling reserve when it comes to Stripe and collecting payments. Now, what is a rolling reserve? Basically, the rolling reserve is a percentage taken off on all your incoming capital. In my case, it was 25%. So if you make, let's say, if you have $10,000 coming in, you will only receive $7,500, and $2,500 will go to Stripe's reserve, held in reserve. Now, that can be very, very painful. Like literally 25% is a lot of money, especially if you're running an agency. That might be your profit margin. If you're running your own offer, that might be some operating costs that you need to deal with. Basically, the rolling reserve is kept to ensure that future disputes can be paid out. So each income you're having, this number is gonna go up, 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 up. And if you're being hit with a dispute or a refund, this is the number that they're taking the money out of. After talking to several lawyers, Stripe customer support and experts, gateway experts and other gateways as well, basically I reverse engineered and understood what really happened in our case, why we got hit with the rolling reserve and the disputes. One of our clients were selling a high ticket program, and the high ticket program was sold directly on a call. When a program is directly sold on a call, that means that doesn't allow Stripe to have a trace where the money is coming in from. So since COVID, the regulations have changed a little bit, and everybody suddenly started creating consulting businesses or started charging customers for consulting. And that means that Stripes and intermediary banks do not really understand where the money is coming from, right? Because the actual sale is being made on a call, and there's not really any proof how that money has been transferred or what service it's been paid for. So the best way we found, and what other consultants told us, in every case have a proper ascension letter before your high ticket program. You definitely want a visible low ticket product, whether it's like $9 to $99 on your funnel step. You will want to have an upsell, again, whatever price that might be, before you're actually reaching out and offering your high ticket coaching or community. And the reason for that is Stripe will ask you the proof on how your customer got to paying the amount of money that they paid for your high ticket program. If they don't understand the funnel structure behind your high ticket program, they might say that, okay, this is risky. They might say that we don't really understand what you're doing here, so we're not going to take that reserve of your account. I spent days reaching out and getting a hold of Stripe customer support, and all they told me is the best way to prevent rolling reserve is to decrease your dispute ratio. Now, how do you reduce the dispute ratio? Obviously, you want to have smaller amount of disputes over large amount of sales. So one good way to reduce the dispute ratio in our case is to start selling products that are lower value, but you can sell at volume, right? So a good solution that we found and some lawyer recommended us was to increase the volume of total transactions over the disputes in order to increase the total transaction. If you sell a lot more high ticket, that's awesome. That means you're also going to be making a lot of money, but you usually want to create and increase the total transaction number within a certain period of time. And what most high ticket sellers and what most coaches and program providers or offer owners do is usually they discount one of their front end products, meaning that a downsell that you're selling for $49, you might start selling for $1 for limited time only. By this, you're increasing the amount of total transaction coming into your Stripe account. And basically that allows you to decrease the dispute ratio within the period that Stripe is looking at your account. And yes, it would be a lot easier just to throw Stripe out the window and not use it and go for a different payment provider or gateway. But here's the thing. I've talked to CEOs of banks to really understand what's going on in the background, and Stripe is just a layer behind an intermediary bank. Now, Stripe might flag you, but you also get flagged in the intermediary bank as a risky business. So just by changing the front-end payment gateway, Stripe or whatever you're using, will not reduce your riskiness. So you definitely want to make sure that you're increasing the total transaction volume compared to your disputes in order to not be flagged with Stripe or with other payment providers as well, because they're reporting to the banks that are behind them. If you've been hit with a rolling reserve or your dispute ratio is too high, over 1%, start with the following. Make sure that your open disputes get resolved as soon as possible. Why? Because anytime you get a review from Stripe and you have an open dispute, you literally have an open dispute. So even if you're trying to tell them that your dispute ratio is down, they look at your account and they actually see that, hey, this guy still has open disputes, okay? So get that out of the way and be mindful that just because you answer a dispute, you provide the customer communication, you provide the contract where the customer bought your product, you provide the recording where they agreed to sign the contract, or you provide the signed contract. After you provided all proof and evidence that you have the right to win that dispute, or you don't have the right to win that dispute, doesn't matter. It will take probably 20 to 25 days for the bank to close that dispute. So you want to make sure that whenever you get reviewed by Stripe, you have all your previous disputes closed, because you would look like a fool if you still have open disputes. Meanwhile, you're trying to prove that your dispute ratio is down and you're eligible to get your reserve back. So here you go. This is how disputes and dispute ratios are calculated. I know it sucks. I know it's painful, but it's best not to run away from it. Face it, figure it out, get your Stripe account back up and running as soon as possible. Changing the payment gateway might not solve the problem that you're facing. And you also don't want to have a business long-term that will not be able to receive payment. So you want to make sure that you understand the steps necessary to be taken to have clean financials in your business, especially when capturing payment. One of the best practices that I found to not have disputes at the first place is have a proper onboarding to your high ticket program or to your program. I've created a video on how to create your perfect high ticket program. Go check out my channel and look at that video. Having a proper onboarding program will help you gain trust from your customers, and you want to make sure that your customers come to you first, then to go to the bank and dispute any charges, because you will always be able to resolve any kind of issues with them upfront, but they have to have the necessary trust to you or to your program or to your assistant or to your brand. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment in the comment section. If you find this video valuable, please subscribe and hit the like button or share it with someone that might be going through similar challenges. I'm super happy to help. If you find me on Instagram, shoot me a message, and hope you get your issue solved soon. Take care. Bye-bye.